Hi, my name is Darlene Fortier, and I'm with Santa Fe NEA, and I was thinking about the most challenging moment of this past school year, 21-22 school year, was when our school became extremely divided amongst its staff. And there were some huge struggles, and I went about providing support for this divided staff. And I can only hope that people will say that I was successful in supporting them and their needs as they battled some complications in communication and hard feelings and other things that were happening within our emotional realm. And I just want to say that if anybody is struggling, we have to take care of our mental health first, and then find those people that will take the time to listen and to help when asked for help. Because it's not often that we should jump in and help. We should listen and lead and see what people need.
Hello, my name is Danielle Jim, and I'm of the Central Consolidated School District. I am an elementary teacher. I'd have to share that the most challenging part of the school year 21-22 was having to be a building representative and be able to listen to everyone's concerns and issues due to a new principal who had started at our school this past year. The issues and concerns that were addressed to me had caused people to be emotional, upset, confused, angry, and this led to a hostile environment within our building due to the lack of professionalism, due to the lack of communication, due to the lack of respect. This was a challenging year because no matter how much we tried to voice concerns, no matter how much we tried to communicate and collaborate with this principal, we were never heard fully. And I myself had the challenge of having to be called into meeting settings as a building rep, also in advocating for myself. And within this hostile environment, going into hostile meetings in which it wasn't just myself and my representative, but also this principal and her administrative team. This only created an intimidating factor, and this type of intimidating factor was what we had to deal with at our school site this year.
This has been a very challenging school year for me. It started with me getting COVID from my students, which caused me to have 2 massive heart attacks. I was out till February. Then I was moved to the middle school, which I was not really happy about, but that ended up to be the best thing. And the best moment was telling my students that I would be returning back to the middle school, not the elementary. And I would be starting a BPA program, a yearbook, and working on computers with the kids. Also, losing my house to the fire. It's just been a real rough school year for me. Like I said, the best thing is I have lost 199 pounds. I am a fighter, and I do like to relax by traveling, driving, texting, watching Netflix. My biggest concern or obstacle this year was figuring out how kids would adjust coming back to class. That was really rough because their reading levels were very low, and I had to do many interventions. I also had to work with their behaviors. And I just want to say to teachers, just have fun, enjoy, and to administrators, let teachers teach.
This year was one for the books, and that is putting it mildly. This year emphasized how this pandemic has changed our lives as educators and the lives of our students. Some of the additional obstacles that I overcame were pandemic related. A whole new meaning to time constraints, a whole new level to lack of support, and a whole new significance of mental health, or lack thereof. Staff, students, and parents alike struggled in their race to overcome the challenges facing them. All in all, we survived, and that is enough for now. We survived and achieved the quote and unquote expectations set for educators and students. The best part of the year was the very end, where we as educators realized that students who seemed caught in the web of negative that was brought on by the pandemic began to embrace educational goals again. Middle school students began to realize that despite all, they needed to refocus, regain consistency, and reestablish effort for their own well-being. We survived this, and therefore, this is only a testament to what can be achieved.
Hello, my name is Avril, and I am from Deming. Well, this school year, I decided to go back to school to better my education. I'm going for my bachelor's on special education. The faces of joy that I got from my family when I told them that I was going back to school gave me that extra push and encouragement that I really needed. I am looking forward to keep on working with all my students, and I love what I do.
Hi, I'm Shelby Padilla. I'm a 5th grade teacher in the Raton Public Schools. I actually didn't have the most positive experiences when I was a student myself. As a matter of fact, I struggled, so I hated school. So it's ironic to me that my dream was to become the teacher that I wish I would have had in school. What do I want everyone to be able to say about me at the end of each school year? That I made a difference, but not just academically. I want my students to leave my classroom being courageous, being risk takers. I want them to be independent thinkers. I want them to have a sense of belonging, a sense of self, a sense of community. I want my students to leave my classroom with integrity and not just when other people are watching. I want my students to understand they weren't just a name on my roster. I love each and every single one of my students for their individuality and what they have to bring to the table. What would I change about teaching today? I think the biggest thing would be that I would hope that teachers would get the trust, the confidence, and the respect that all degreed professionals deserve, but for some reason, teachers don't get.
For me, becoming a teacher meant making a difference in a child's life. For me, it was high school. I loved being able to create a safe space for students, allow students to share opinions and know that their opinion is valued, that learning was important and that learning never stops. Learning is something that you continue on throughout your entire life. Yeah, I became a teacher to make a difference in every student's life. Not one student, not a few students, not a group of students, but to try to make a difference in every student's life.
Hi, my name is Kim Avila. I teach 6th grade at Chimayo Elementary, and I just finished my 27th year with the Espanola Public Schools. Education's changed even since 10 years ago. This is the new normal, and I learned so much about this year due to the student behavior and lack of administrative support. In fact, I even had kids talk to me about, Miss Avila, you know you're going to get cussed, and you still come to school. And I told them, this is my job. I want to make a difference. I always have. I also my biggest contribution, I believe, this year was showing the kids resilience in the chaos. And at some point, they're going to realize that the world has chaos. And I hope they can reflect back to the 6th grade experience, to be successful in that. Because a lot of things are changing, things that we have no control of. I just want to make a difference, and I always have. So you teachers out there, just stick with it, have a voice, get involved in your union. That's why I love my union.